Okay. Phew, I think we're there. I think we're on.
We are.
Okay, good. Have we had the push notification go out yet?
Yep.
Okay, all right then. As we are... we will start 15 seconds late, I'm afraid.
15 minutes?
No. Just seconds.
Oh, my word.
Just seconds. 15 seconds late, I'm sorry.
You could almost see the bead of sweat.
I could see the email being written as we sat here.
Oh, my word.
Here we go. Good luck, everyone.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to episode 597 of the Plain Talking UK podcast. I'm Carlos, and in this week's show, Lufthansa is cutting up to 20,000 flights amid soaring jet fuel costs. A Ryanair flight departs France without any of its 192 passengers. A great fuel-saving strategy there from the company. And Virgin Atlantic launches the first of its kind airline app in ChatGPT to revolutionise travel planning. In the military segment this week, we've got no Iran update from Armando this week, as there is a ceasefire in place. A Spitfire completes a unique formation flight with the Royal Air Force, and an A10 attack jet gets another year to live. A feast of Retro Airline Ad of the Week to bring you as well later in the show. And did you know that it is exactly 1 month until our 600th show at Duxford? And Nev will be giving us an update on that later on. And we'll be talking ironing.
I'm very excited about this. Very excited indeed, just saying.
Oh, my word. And joining me this week from across the sunny Buckinghamshire countryside, it is, of course, our connoisseur of all things pressed and steam pressed and crease free. It is, of course, Neville Bounds.
I'm very impressed with your ironing skills, Carlos, and we'll be demonstrating that later in the show. What a fantastic job you did there. Thank you very much for ironing all those shirts. That was quite the marathon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite a 3.5 hour marathon, I'm not going to lie, but I will say that our visitors, our guests are very welcome.
Yeah.
How are you, Nev?
There we are.
Yeah, good, thanks. All well here. Thank you very much. Nice to see some sunshine. I think we're promised 23 degrees later in the week, which is nice. I saw that Darren was saying in the chat room it's 21 degrees in Oslo, which is pretty good because it's normally minus 21 every time I've ever been to Oslo. Or something like that. So, it's great. Great stuff. And, a lot to pack in the show this week. Lots happening in the world of civil and military aviation.
Yeah, you've been proud of me yesterday, Nev. I spent a good morning valeting the car.
Ah, lovely. Yes, I wasn't quite in the mood for cleaning my car today, so I went to the local hand car wash, which is called Clean Getaway. And the reason it's called Clean Getaway is because it is manned by people that have just recently left prison. And they do a fantastic job, I have to say. They do a brilliant job.
Wow.
So for £9 sterling, it looks like it's just come out of the showroom. So that's brilliant.
Blimey.
That is good value. Yeah.
Yep.
Carlos, you're going to have to put your prices up.
Yeah.
Or
Blimey,
down.
That's blooming good, that, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what a great idea. Love that.
Yeah. Gemma was happy because I'd done her car as well, so she's currently driving around in less of a bin than she was before. Yes, I know.
Okay.
I don't know whether Mrs. Nev is like that, but it's
No, she
Shocking.
knows better rather than to trash her car. She's not that kind of girl, I have to say.
Yeah. And obviously in the P2K Master Suite studio this week, he's back with us. It's Mr. Smith. Hello, Matt.
Hello, how are we?
Good. Nice background there.
Yes, it's a Jonathan Warner special, I'm afraid. Yes.
Very nice indeed. Nice to see that.
Indeed, yeah. They're always it's got a real Top Gun vibe to it.
It
hasn't
does.
It's got a real Top Gun. I feel like I'm spoiling it by being in the way. Look, but there we are. Yeah, it's got a real Top Gun vibe to it. He says it's trying to explain a photograph on a audio podcast. But anyway,
but this is the reason why our audio listeners need to get over to YouTube.
Yes, true that.
And subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're live, just like we are now. Going to say hello in the chat room. Let's start off at the top of the list. Hands up, who knows who is in the top of the top spot?
I'm going to say Mazoos.
Oh yes, Mazoos was in there first today. Hello to you. Good to see you, Mazoos. And we've got Tanya. Hello to you, Tanya. Scrolling down. Nev's obviously in there, keeping an eye on things. Richard Adams says, evening all with a beer. That's one thing I won't be doing tonight because me and my lovely wife, Gemma, went out yesterday evening and we both drank far too much in our local pub. But I'm not going to mention any more about that. Darren Smith, hello to you. 21 degrees C in Oslo. Masha, hello to you as well. Good to see you. Owen's in there. Says hello from 37,000 feet.
Oh, here
Blimey.
we go.
Yeah, sitting back in the business class seat, no doubt. We've got...
I bet he's not.
Well, we like to think
I
that.
put money on cattle class, I think.
Jonathan Warner, he's in there, listening on the way to work again.
Oh, love that.
He says, you have a week off like I am. It's so nice. And... Yeah, greetings to everyone who's joined us this evening for the show. Thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Darren says, is that a Luscombe or a Cessna 120 behind you? That's a fresh picture from this afternoon, that is, Darren. I shall look it up online because I've got the registration in there. But it was a special visitor to Beccles this afternoon.
Oh, my goodness. Did you really make Gemma go to an airport and not fly anywhere?
Gemma stayed at home.
Oh, right, good. I was going to say.
And I went up to Beccles and had a coffee and had a chat with some of our friends up there.
Yeah.
Mr. Rob Gooderham, who's up there, the engineer, had a chat with him this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, it was a very nice day for GA flying.
Yeah, I bet.
There was a lot of the usual hive of activity at Beccles today, which is nice. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. As I said, we have got plenty to get through today. Also, because last week we missed the Retro Airline Ad of the Week, this week's Retro Airline Ad of the Week is an extra special long one. There's some very nice airliners on that video as well for you to look at when we play that out later on. But we've got some commercial news to do. So, if all the team are ready,
yes,
let's go.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take your seats and fasten your seatbelts.
And the first story this week comes to us from skynews.com, and it is the news that is dominating, well, the news at the moment, as we all know. This one is about Lufthansa, who this week cut 20,000 flights amid soaring jet fuel costs. So Lufthansa has announced this week that 20,000 short-haul flights are being cut from its schedule this summer, allowing it to save on the soaring costs of jet fuel. Most of the cuts come from closing its loss-making CityLine fleet and retiring its 27 aircraft. It blamed the cost of jet fuel, which it said has more than doubled, as well as labour disputes with its workforce. Most airlines are dealing with soaring costs in the Middle East. Oil supplies remain largely cut off due to the blocking of the Straits of Hormuz. And consumers are also feeling the pinch, with ticket prices starting to show significant rises. Ryanair boss Michael O'Leary told Sky News this month that there was a risk fuel supplies could be disrupted from May if the Straits of Hormuz remain shut. He said that oil costs were part of the wider ramifications, but the more immediate concern was jet fuel supplies. The head of the International Energy Agency also told Associated Press last week that Europe had maybe 6 weeks of jet fuel left. In a statement on Tuesday this week, Lufthansa said the 20,000 cold flights would save around 40,000 tonnes of jet fuel over the period until October, adding that the cuts only represented 1% of its available seat kilometres. The company said it was consolidating its European network, and unprofitable routes from its Frankfurt and Munich hubs were going, while existing routes out of Zurich, Brussels and Vienna were being expanded. The German carrier said that passengers would still be able to access its global route network and long-haul connections. Lufthansa long-haul capacity will reduce somewhat at the end of the summer, however, when it loses 6 intercontinental planes. 2 of the iconic 747s will be grounded for the winter ahead of their final farewell sometime next year. 4 Airbus A340-600s are also retiring for good in October this year. So, yeah, cutbacks galore.
Well, what can we say about this? It sounds as though they're getting the excuses in early. I think that clearly, yes, there is the potential for difficulty with jet fuel supply, but I've just got this feeling this could be another Y2K moment, in that there is so much trepidation and speculation going on. When it comes to it, there won't be a problem. And the amount of chat going on the breakfast television channels at the moment about fuel shortages, whether it's cars, diesel for trucks or jet fuel, it's just endless, as if there wasn't anything else to talk about. But my prediction will be there will not be a problem. But what a pity, though, that Lufthansa are grounding the 747-8s they've got and the 340-600s. That's a real shame. The 747 is just grounded for the winter period, but the 340-600s are going for good in October of this year, which I didn't know. So that's a real shame.
I suppose
it's a shame to see them.
The 74s, I guess they're quite old, aren't they? I mean, that's probably potentially one of the problems.
Would that be the Dash 8s?
I assume so. Oh, well, actually, it might be the 400s. It might be the 400s, actually. So, yeah. But
I guess in a time, I know you're predicting that there is nothing to worry about essentially here, but I suppose if fuel economy is a concern, shall we say, I guess the last thing you want to be doing is trying to put a 747 in the air, I guess, but with its 4 engines. But
do you know, one of the things I didn't do this afternoon, after I'd sort the show notes out, was just do have a look on the few of the websites like Ryanair and EasyJet and stuff, and Jet2, to see if the prices have gone silly. But I don't know whether BA's, whether you've had a chance to have a look at BA and see if their flight prices have shot up or not. But
I haven't looked, but it's been creeping up anyway over the last year in any case. But we'll have to see. As I say, I think. Today the major airlines, Virgin in the UK at least, Virgin, BA, and some others, are asking the government for assistance with reductions on air passenger duty and all sorts of things at the moment. And those may be reasonable requests, but these are private companies at the end of the day. These are not state-owned airlines, and so that's a difficult call. I do predict that there won't be a problem, but I can see why airlines are being cautious in case there is, but I don't think there will be at the end of the day somehow.
I mean, I would argue that my boss at the company I work for, him and his family flew out of Norwich to Portugal, and including 4 nights somewhere in Portugal, again, flying out of Norwich, Ryanair, it was £340 for all of them.
Wow.
Which, so I think it depends on the airline a bit as to how much of an impact the costs of fuel and everything is having on what they're doing. But
now, it may be that the larger airlines, obviously, because they've got a number of routes. I mean, they've all got routes which probably aren't as profitable as they might be. So they might consider what they're doing with some of those. But do you remember what happened after COVID, where routes were chopped and all the rest of it, and every single flight was rammed solid?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is going to go one of two ways, obviously, but I'm not predicting any big problems. And I wish people on the breakfast TV channels, on the media, would just turn it down a bit, because that's all you're hearing. And I'm just waiting for my little petrol station down the road to start having queues outside because people are panicking, which is completely unnecessary.
Yeah. Mind you, actually here, I've noticed that we've lost a couple of pennies. Because we've had a bit of a spike, but it's actually gone down 2 pence a litre in comparison to what it was a week ago at the co-op here in Bungay. So I don't know whether that's a sign of things are evening out or stabilising a bit.
The way I look at it is my pension. My private pension I've got, I've got an app on my phone, and 1 minute it's down £9,000, the next minute it's up £6,000. It's all over the shop, but it is in the positive bracket at the moment. So and again, these are world events, and money is invested on a worldwide basis, isn't it? That's
true. That very true.
I have just done a quick look on Ryanair's website, and to see the cost of the flight for my flight to Malta in June, and it's cheaper.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, work that one out, guys. And it's not just a couple of quid cheaper. It is 240. It's 60 quid cheaper.
Yeah, but to be fair, there's always that sweet spot, isn't there? And it depends on, essentially, it depends on how big your kahunas are as to whether you're willing to sort of ride it out for the best price, essentially, isn't it? But what is fascinating by that, as you say, is the fact that it's gone down and not up. Bearing in mind, we're literally sat here having a discussion about, cost of, fuel costs and crises. So there is a very strong possibility that Nev might be onto something here.
Well, the jury is out.
Indeed.
Right. Matt, you've got the. Sorry, I'll just put my glass of red wine down there.
Oh, all right. I can say, let's just rub it in, shall we? Poor Nev.
Can't tell I'm off this week, eh? Yeah. Matt, you've got the next story, and this is one thing that I hope doesn't happen in June when I fly to Malta with Ryanair.
Yes. Now this is a fascinating story. We covered a very similar story last week. Actually, this involving an EasyJet flight, wasn't it? And there was only a handful of people. I think it was like 6 passengers or something got on it. This one is a very different kettle of fish altogether. Ryanair flight departs France without any of its 192 passengers on board. So it's connectionfrance.com is the source on this one. And the Ryanair flight from France's Grand Est region to Marrakesh departed without its passengers due to insufficient staff to carry out check-in and security procedures. It meant 192 passengers were left stranded on the 14th of April at Vatry Airport in Man, when security personnel responsible for boarding, provided by the company Securus, were all reported to be on sick leave. All of them? Wow. The cancellation was initially communicated via a message on the Ryanair app, which read, due to an unexpected strike by security staff we advise all passengers on flight Foxtrot Romeo 4408 to Marrakesh to return home and rebook another flight via the Ryanair app. However, Fabrice Paquet, who is the director of Vatry Airport, told ICI Grand Est that the disruption was not due to a strike but rather staff absences. When passenger check-in opened, there was no security team. We learned that they were all on sick leave, adding that the head of Securus advised that no replacement team could be deployed in time for the flight to depart. Compensation uncertainties, as you might expect, with Ryanair. The airport management stated that the airport would not pay any compensation, saying that if there are any costs incurred, they are passed on to the operator, who will in turn pass them on to their service provider, who failed to fulfil their obligations. Ryanair stated that the disruption was caused by circumstances beyond its control. Its website states that under EU air passenger rights regulations, compensation is not required in cases of classified as extraordinary circumstances, such as strikes, medical emergencies, provided that all reasonable measures have been taken to avoid the disruption. While the situation at VAT3 is still being assessed, it may fall under this category due to the reported unavailability of security staff caused by widespread sick leave. Yes, very much. Darren Smith is suggesting it was a bad batch of garlic with that one. I don't know. Do we? I don't know if I should say this.
192 people who are going to be really upset.
Really cross. Yes, absolutely. Do we think this is just an excuse so that the security thing is not being played out?
Oh, well, we'll never really know.
No.
But I've got to hand it to Ryanair on the one hand, because presumably the return flight is they're not taking any passengers. So all that fuel that they would have burnt, they're going to save, aren't they? So they're just taking the flight crew and the cabin crew back to the start point. Departure point. So it's oh dear, I don't know. I really don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I think this is somebody trying to downplay the problems that they've been having at these various gates, I don't know, or was it more prevalent because there was an alternative to the gates? Because there are sometimes, even when they are working, there are sometimes where the gates will still insist that you need to go and see passport control or whatever. Who knows? As you say, I don't think we'll ever know. Richard Adams is suggesting that maybe they all ate the fish.
They are. Yeah.
That'll be an airplane reference then, I'm assuming. Is that?
It will, yes.
Oh, look at me.
No, I read a report online this morning, and it was about Malta, funnily enough, but it was about Ryanair saying that they were unhappy with the standard of that new. This is the security thing now, the biometric entry, the whatever it's called. We covered it last week on the show, didn't we? I think, but apparently the queues are so bad. That some people are standing on the air stairs, walking down to get onto the apron to walk across to the security, the border passport control, standing out there for nearly half an hour waiting to get in to go through security and stuff. Which,
well, I mean, Greece this week has suspended the EES system completely.
Oh, really?
Because it's fed up with the delays it's causing. And the EU chums in Brussels are terribly cross about that. But the Greeks don't really care about it. All they're concerned about is prompt departures and arrivals.
Quite right too, in many ways. I mean, if the reality is, isn't it? With any new system, there are always going to be teething problems. You roll it out on scale, you discover that it's not working, you gather that data, look at it, find out what the problem is, suspend the service while you fix the problem, and then try again. I mean, that's how any, in a perfect world, development would be in beta tests and then, an alpha test, etc., etc. But
it's almost like we're taking a massive step backwards.
Yeah, I think they're trying to be much more sophisticated. I think that's the thing, isn't it? But it's just like I don't think we're taking it, as Nev likes to refer to, a sensible pill with this one. It's just like, obviously something isn't quite right. Let's take it offline, go back to how we were, analyse all the data, see if we can work out, try and pinpoint where it's falling over, fix that, turn it back on, try it again. It just seems so obvious, It will be fine. I have no doubt that they will, that it'll get working. But, it's just like, just persevering with a system which isn't working is not the way to go, is it?
All
It's
of
almost
the
like-
so many delays. I mean, okay, this time of year you're not going to get many weather delays in Europe.
No.
But if all the delays are caused by boarding or exiting the aircraft,
Yeah.
then something's badly
Something's
wrong
not right.
somewhere, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
Nev, good news if you live in a very nice part of the UK.
Yes, well, of course, it's not actually in the UK.
Well, just outside. Really, yeah.
But anyway, this is on the guernseypress.com. British Airways launches a new Heathrow link with local crew. About time too. I mean, they've used to have a service going into Guernsey from Heathrow, and they suspended it quite a long time ago now. But this new route will operate daily between the island and the UK's largest hub airport. The first flight was operated by a crew with personal connections to the island, including the flight's captain and 4 members of the cabin crew team, all of whom come from Guernsey or have close family ties. Steph Loveridge, who's the captain on the flight, he says, as someone who was born in Guernsey, today's flight was a really special moment. Bringing a BA aircraft into land on the island was a real honour, and I'm proud to play a part of the launch of this new route and improved links between my home island and the UK. Well, the inaugural London Heathrow service coincided with the 22nd anniversary of the opening of the passenger terminal building. Customers travelling on the flight were given traditional Guernsey gâché mêlée on board, with the Airbus A319 touching down a few minutes ahead of schedule at 12:52 p.m. Economic Development Committee President Sasha Kanzasteva Miller said that introducing the route was a significant step in the right direction to improving Guernsey's transport links. I'm confident this route will open up new opportunities for business and leisure travel, she said, particularly through the worldwide connections BA offer, and it will bring more options and choice for travellers, she said. Flights will cost from £96 return per person, including taxes and fees, with a more expensive Club Europe business class service also available. Good. About time we had some more connections to the other major Channel Island there as well. Really good to see that.
You flown into Guernsey before, Nev? Or?
I have, yeah. But I think I flew in from Gatwick with Aurigny on the ATR 42, I would say. Of course, the thing is with the Channel Islands, it gets very different weather to the rest of the UK because of where it is. And so often the whole place is fogged in as well. So you do get situations where if the weather's a bit marginal, some aircraft do end up having to go back to their their departure airport. I think somebody told me, I forget who it was, I think that over 70 days a year, both Jersey and Guernsey have got fog issues, which are making things difficult for aircraft to operate. But nonetheless, it's great to hear that there's a new route opening, and about time too, I would say.
Yeah, nice part of the world as well.
It is fantastic.
Next up comes from flightglobal.com, and we could have done with an Andy here this week for this one. But he's flying. I think he's doing some flying this week, isn't he, Nev?
Yeah.
But this comes from Flight Global. Airbus to revise A321 flare guidance after tail strikes. Airbus is intending to introduce additional information on managing approach and flare for the A321 in its upcoming revision of the flight crew manuals. While the airframe has not specifically confirmed the reason for the update, it follows a number of recent tail strike incidents involving the variant. The A321, including the current A321 Neo versions, has a long fuselage which reduces the margin for avoiding tail strikes during touchdown. With landing gear fully compressed, the pitch threshold for tail contact can be as little as 9.5 degrees. Wizz Air's UK's, their first A321 XLR suffered a tail strike at Prague back in September last year, just 4 months after a Turkish A321 Neo experienced a similar occurrence at the same airport. One of JetBlue's A321 Neos was damaged back in February during a tail strike accident at San Francisco. And circumstances for a tail strike on landing vary, but inquiries have tended to cite such factors as aggressive nose-up input, notably to arrest sink rates or in response to a hard or bounced landing, as well as handling difficulties in rapidly changing winds. Airbus states that it will issue irrelevant data in a standard update to flight crews, operation and training manuals is scheduled for May. The guidance provides additional information on how to manage the flare height as a function of environmental conditions, aircraft weight and speed. And the airframer tells Flight Global this. It points out that flare height varies and pilots are trained to make necessary adjustments. And Airbus continuously reviews in-service operation of the aircraft, they said, in conjunction with our customers, and will continue to modify the operational guidance when it is considered appropriate, it adds. So there we go. This is what we could have done with Mr. Wilson here, isn't it, to give his input on this. But,
or Captain Al.
Or Captain Al.
Yeah.
We don't not too much input on the side stick though, because that's what's causing the tail strike.
Like you say, that's what's causing it in the first place, isn't it?
Yeah. The 321 is a very stretched version, isn't it, Nev? It's got that extra behind it.
And also the other thing is, I would imagine, having flown with you, obviously the 320 at least in the simulators, you're very conscious of what you're seeing out the front, aren't you? You forget there's 190 odd or more people behind you, and a very long aircraft as well. So the tendency to perhaps pitch up prematurely would definitely be there, because all you're seeing is what's out the front. You've just got to remember what's all that stuff behind you as well.
Yeah, perhaps we'll give a nod to Andy next week when he's back, hopefully, in regards to this. Matt, we've got some good news for anyone who might be in the US looking for a new job.
Yes, quite, absolutely. Aviation2z.com is the source for this one, and the headline is Boeing is ramping up hiring for the new 737 assembly line. Boeing is accelerating recruitment across its Washington state facilities as it works to stabilise output and prepare for higher production of its best-selling narrow-body aircraft. The hiring push comes as the manufacturer balances workforce attrition with rising demand for newer, fuel-efficient jets. The expansion is centred around the Seattle area, including Everett and Renton, where Boeing assembles its commercial aircraft. While airlines such as Southwest Airlines and Ryanair continue to rely heavily on the 737 platform, Boeing is under pressure to deliver aircraft on time and at scale. Boeing is currently onboarding more than 100 assemblers per day to reinforce its production lines. The company is addressing a wave of retirements while also building capacity for future programs and increased output rates. The hiring effort spans multiple roles, including mechanics, inspectors, and manufacturing engineers. Boeing aims to ensure that new recruits are ready to integrate quickly into complex assembly operations without disrupting existing workflows. This workforce expansion reflects broader industry trends where aerospace companies are competing for skilled labour amid strong airline demand and increased defence spending. Boeing's strategy focuses on maintaining continuity while scaling up operations efficiently. A key part of Boeing's plan involves launching a new 737 production line at its Everett facility. Known internally as the North Line, this marks a significant shift as 737 assembly has historically been concentrated in Renton. The Everett line will initially produce multiple variants of the 737 MAX family, including the Dash 8, Dash 9 and Dash 10 models. By diversifying production locations, Boeing aims to improve flexibility and reduce bottlenecks in its narrow-body program. The new line will mirror Renton's established manufacturing processes but will introduce specialised logistics tools. One such system will transport partially assembled wings to Everett, streamlining final assembly and reducing handling complexity. Bit of good news there, I think. But I think it's a little overdue, isn't it? I mean, we've done sort of week after week of stories where they're falling behind on production and people who've ordered their planes. I mean, let's be honest. Boeing have not exactly had the best run of things lately. So to not be delivering aircraft on time, is that the final thing that could sort of bring it all to a bit of a close? But it does sound like they are trying. Is it a bit too late though? I mean, why wasn't this happening 12 months ago or 18 months ago when it became apparent that they weren't able to keep up with orders essentially?
It seems to be an endless series of problems, not just at Boeing, but all sorts of other aircraft manufacturers as well, although Boeing seem to have suffered more than most. There's always something going on, isn't there? Semiconductor shortages, all sorts of things, general component shortages. And that affects not just aircraft. Of course, we've known that's affected the car manufacturing industry, the automotive industry massively as well over the last couple of years, with heavy reliance on Far East products. So, yeah, I think it's good to see that there's they're hiring more people.
Yeah,
obviously they need them. So yeah,
agreed.
Just wish it was here, local to me.
Well,
yeah, true enough.
I'll definitely be applying. Be interesting to see what the pay would be like. It'd be interesting to find out what the wage is or the salary is for someone who works.
Well,
Boeing.
One of my friends works for McLaren, and it is the division that makes the cars that go to the F1 and all that kind of thing, and they're on very good money. And I mean very good money, and he's basically a stores manager. So I think it's certainly going to be way above. I don't know. Well, Americans don't really have sort of what I call minimum wage, do they? But yeah, I would like to think that given the responsibility of getting it right and stuff, that it would be quite a top end. Because I mean, you aren't going to be able to just walk in there, are you? I mean, they're going to be expecting a certain standard, even if it's not book smarts. They'll almost certainly need. You'll almost certainly need to pass a test of some kind. I have no doubt.
Actually, interesting to see, Matt, that picture you've got on the screen at the moment. If you look, the 2 or 3, 4, maybe 4 aircraft or fifth of all the aircraft that are in that far hand shot.
They're all Ryanair, aren't they?
Or all Ryanair aircraft.
True enough. Yeah. Very true. Very true indeed.
I think I saw a program on Discovery once that apparently the building with which they build produce the aircraft here at Boeing's plant, I think I read it said on the program that it has its own microclimate inside the building.
Oh, I'm sure, to keep it,
It's such a big building. And I think the staff have bicycles to get from point A to point B rather than walking, because it would take just so long to walk from one point to another. So it's a stunning. I think it's on Discovery. I think you can watch it on YouTube, but you can see it on there. But it's an incredible factory. I'd love to visit there for the day.
These sort of places are so big that they have their own medical facilities, their own dentists, all sorts of things. But they need it because that's what they've got to do. They've got to try and keep people on the site for as long as they can.
Darren Smith in the chat room says $100,000 to $150,000 a year. Really? Oh man, I'm moving to the US if that's the case. Jeez.
Yeah, maybe try and get the job first though before you disrupt your life entirely.
Let's hope Gemma's not listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
No, God,
don't worry. She never listens to the podcast. It's fine. It's not a problem, I assure you.
Nev, be interesting to hear your thoughts on this, because we all know what we think about AI in certain regards. But
yes, well, let's have a look. Let's have a trawl through, shall we? This is on futuretravelexperience.com. It says Virgin Atlantic has become the first airline in the world to launch an app within ChatGPT, opening up a new way for customers to discover and plan their next trip simply by asking. Building on Virgin Atlantic's artificial intelligence-powered concierge, the Virgin app in ChatGPT allows customers to search for flights using everyday language. Customers can ask for exactly what they want, from flights to the Caribbean in February to show me flights in premium to Los Angeles next month, with tailored options surfaced instantly. ChatGPT then presents these in a clear, easy-to-read summary, and sorry, my screen just froze there, making it simple to compare and choose. Once a flight is selected, customers are seamlessly directed to Virgin Atlantic's website or mobile app to complete their booking, creating a smooth journey from inspiration through to purchase. The launch builds on the airline's recent digital innovations, including the rollout of Virgin Atlantic Concierge and the introduction of its new mobile app, giving customers more ways to plan and manage their trips. We're proud to be the first airline in the world to launch an app in ChatGPT, as we continue to focus on meeting our customers where they are and making it easier than ever to connect with us, says Juha Javonen, Chief Customer Officer of Virgin Atlantic. Whether you know exactly where you want to go to or whether you're just looking for inspiration, this experience is designed to make planning and booking your next trip simple and seamless. You can simply ask and we'll do the rest, showing the best options quickly. By combining the power of AI with the personality and care we're known for, we are creating experiences that feel more personal, more intuitive, and unmistakably Virgin Atlantic. The latest launch marks another step in Virgin Atlantic's ambition to create brilliantly different experiences, blending technology with human warmth to redefine premium travel in the digital age. Human warmth. Nice. Okay. I have to say that I was never a huge fan of AI and ChatGPT. But as I've been retired from work, I've been fiddling around with it a bit more. And honestly, some of the things it can do are better than you would ever believe. Now, when you roll this out into a platform like this, it's a whole different area. But it's got legs, this, I have to say.
Indeed.
It's not perfect, as Simon points out. It does make a lot of mistakes.
I'll tell you what, Nev. I have set myself a challenge, and my challenge is to, before the end of this program, I'm going to create an AI themed thing to introduce or to talk about the Duxford 600th show. There you are. That's my mission. While we're doing that, so I'm going to have a bit of go. So it's only just popped in my head, so it may be awful, but I'm going to give it a go. All right.
Lord.
So there we are. So my mission before the end of this program is to come up with some form of AI-inspired song or theme to do with the 600 show. Let's see how we get on, shall we?
Stay tuned for that, guys and girls.
Yeah, or not. It may be awful. But anyway, yeah, good luck. Good luck, everyone. Here we go. I'm going to regret saying that now, aren't I? Oh, dearie me. Okay.
Right.
Carry on.
Let's go. So this next story comes from the nationalnews.com. And this is interesting. And the pictures, Matt's got the pictures for this. And it is quite interesting to see what these look like, because some are in use and some are on the way. But the headline, from bunk beds to sofa seats, airlines offering new ways to sleep in economy. So for those of us who can't afford to travel in business class or first class, obviously we have to travel in economy. But certain airlines are trying to make this a more, how do I put this, premium way of travelling. But obviously you have to pay for that extra. So several airlines have already introduced similar concepts, from couch-style seating to bookable empty rows, while local carriers such as Emirates and Etihad allow passengers to purchase adjacent seats for additional space. Others are now going a step further to introduce purpose-built option designs specifically for rest. So let's have a look at what's on offer. Now, United Airlines have a thing called the Relax Row. It's going to be available from next year. The Relax Row comprises of a row of 3 economy seats that can convert into a flat surface by lifting the leg rests to a 90-degree angle, creating a couch-style bed for long-haul comfort. The row will include a mattress pad, 2 pillows, a large blanket, and a custom plush toy. Okay. Routes have not been announced yet, but the product is expected to roll out across the long-haul intercontinental flights. Air New Zealand have something called Skynest, available from November this year. Skynest is a dedicated sleep zone with 6 bunk-style pods positioned between economy and premium economy, designed for long-haul rest in shifts. Each pod measures around 203 centimetres in length, 65 centimetres in width, and tapering to 41 centimetres at the feet. The seats come with a fresh bedding, privacy curtain, ambient lighting, and a kit including eye mask, skincare, earplugs, and socks. The bunk beds will debut on the airline's Auckland to New York route, which takes between 17 and 18 hours. Air New Zealand Sky Couch, already available, a trio of seats with footrests that lift to form a lie flat sofa-style space. The Sky Couch allows passengers to lie down or stretch out. It's available to book on long-haul routes across the airline's 787-9 and 777 network, including flights between Auckland and LA and London and Singapore. Lufthansa have a thing called Sleepers Row 2.0. Available already. Part of the airline's new Allegris cabin. This allows passengers to book an entire row of 3 or 4 seats, complete with a mattress, bedding, to create a flat sleeping surface. An upgraded version of the airline's original sleeper row. It offers a reclining space that is around 40% larger. It's available on long-haul routes where seats remain unsold, including flights from Frankfurt to and Munich to Asia and North America. ANA, or Al Nippon, they call theirs the ANA Couchy. Couchy. It's available now. It takes the form of a set of 3 or 4 economy seats that can be converted into a couch by raising the leg rests, creating a bed that's around 81 centimetres wide and 152 centimetres long. Designed with couples and families in mind, it comes with a bedding set, adjustable armrest to create a more open space. Pricing depends on how many passengers share the row, and it's currently available on the 380 between Tokyo and Hawaii, which take a little over 7 hours. Air Astana, they have a thing called Economy Sleeper. It's available already on the airline. The national carrier of Kazakhstan offers a dedicated section at the front of economy where each passenger is assigned a full row of seats along with a mattress, duvet and pillow. Offered on long-haul routes from Kazakhstan to destinations such as London, Frankfurt and Beijing. It comes with perks such as priority check-in and increased baggage allowance. And the last one on the list, Air Austral. They have a thing called Extra Couchette. Available on there now, the French carrier offers a licensed version of Air New Zealand Sky Couch patent, allowing passengers to lie across a row on long-haul flights designed with families in mind. The bench-style seats convert into a sleeper, accommodating 1 adult and 2 children more comfortably. It's available on the 12-hour route between La Réunion and Paris. So there we go. I think it's a good idea, but it'd be interesting to see how much it costs you to block book 3 entire seats for yourself. But I'd imagine it's fairly comfortable if you're converting an entire 3 seats into one sort of what is essentially a completely lie flat bed for yourself. What do you think, Nev?
Yes, some operational issues have been raised by Jenny and Richard in the chat room. What about seatbelts when you're sleeping like that, she says. And so just so I've got this right, you are paying for 3 seats, are you?
Yeah, so you're paying essentially for 3, you block book 3 seats for yourself, and yeah.
Well, Richard Adams is saying, well, wouldn't it be better to have a business class seat in terms of being better value?
See, my thoughts are on this with those pictures that Matt was showing there. You've obviously got like some sort of foam insert that lays in on those 3 seats. You've got the duvet, you've got the bedding. All this has got to be stored somewhere on the aircraft. for each of those
Oh, yes. Good point.
seats.
Yeah.
Because I'd imagine that unless it's a memory or a sort of soft memory foam mattress or something like that, but that's got to be stored somewhere on the aircraft, which I would say is going to take up more room. Not so much weight, but I think room-wise, it's going to take up quite a bit of weight.
Yeah.
But I think if you are traveling long haul and you can't afford that huge business class fare, which sometimes can run into the thousands of pounds, it probably is cheaper to buy 3 economy seats for yourself and have that option to turn it into a lie flat bed rather than paying the potentially £6,000 or £7,000 for a business class fare.
No, that's a reasonable point, actually. Yeah. Well, let's see. I didn't realise that those were options, actually, and that some already exist. Yeah, I think airlines really have got to find new ways of doing this stuff because, we've all been on long haul. Even I've been in economy on long haul many times back in the day, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
No two ways about it. So if there was a possibility to have this sort of thing, then that's of interest. Yeah,
indeed. Okay.
Matt, you've got good news for anyone who may be flying Ryanair.
Yeah, indeed. Unusual for things to be going the other way, frankly. Back to Ryanair, as Carlos said, and this is coming from the Ryanair website, actually, and it says Ryanair Airport check-in and bag drop to close at 60 minutes. Up from 40 minutes from November 2026. So bag drop and check-in to close at 60 minutes from November to allow guests more time to get through airport security and passport queues. Ryanair, Europe's #1 airline. Anyone would have thought this had come from their website. Today, the 22nd, so literally today, love that, announced that from Tuesday the 10th of November, check-in and bag drop services at all its airports will close 60 minutes prior to scheduled departure, up from 40 minutes currently, to provide more time for passengers to get through airport security and passport queues, which will reduce the very small number of passengers who currently miss their flight departure as they're getting stuck in these airport queues. This comes as Ryanair installs more self-service bag drop kiosks across its network, with over 95% of airports having these kiosks by October. These self-service kiosks are fully integrated with the Ryanair app, giving passengers the ability to check in bags and print bag tags, which speeds up bag drop and cuts waiting times. Who puts a bag through Ryanair's... Anyway, by the way, the latest improvement will give these 20% of Ryanair guests who wish to check in a bag slightly more time to get through the airport security and passport queues and arrive at their destination gate before boarding starts. The remaining 80% of passengers who don't check in bags are unaffected and will continue to check in online before they arrive at the airport and go straight to their departure gate when they arrive. So, So essentially, another 20 minutes. They're going to close the gate. They're going to close bag drop 20 minutes
later.
20 minutes later, not earlier. Yeah, right.
So it gives you more chance to get through.
But does it? Because if people are
full security.
But if right, okay. But surely the sensible thing to do would be to open, have the gate, the bag drop open longer. I don't see why this is being lambasted as or I don't understand why this is being made like something to be excited about. Essentially, is the fact that good news, everyone, we're going to close the gate a little bit further away from the departure time. What am I missing?
I think they open bag drop. I think bag drop is 3 hours before your flight.
Depends on the airport where you're going from. Yeah. Some of them are 2 hours.
Yeah, some of the 2 or 3 hours.
What am I missing?
I mean, it does. I suppose it's less worry if you are running late, especially when you're going through.
But no, it's
security
not though, is
at
it?
Stansted.
Because if you're still having to do a bag drop, what's happened now is if you are running a bit late, you've now missed the window to get your bag dropped.
Well, get there early.
Well, yeah, but that's my whole point. I don't understand why this is something we should be excited about.
Well, Ryanair are excited.
Well, yes, fair enough. Yeah, okay. I look forward to somebody helping me make sense of this.
I hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood and all that kind of jazz, I'm looking forward to seeing how swiftly I can progress through in June. Because I am checking a bag in June with my flight, so I will have to go to a bag drop and check that in before I go through security, etc.
Okay, so Owen is saying, well, it means that the last minute paperwork, bag loading and boarding will be done earlier so the doors can close on time. But I wasn't aware that was a problem. And anyway, if you see what I mean, I don't know. Owen will probably correct. More on-time departures mean less delays, means cheaper operations, means lower fares. Okay,
it's almost like an advert.
I know, absolutely. But
I didn't realise you worked for the company. Amazing.
But I wasn't aware of any flights, and I'm sure Owen will correct me, but I wasn't aware of any flights like missing their window because they hadn't been able to complete the paperwork in time. Not with Ryanair. With British Airways, 100%. I mean, we've quite often covered stories where that's been a problem. But I look forward to a further update.
Yes, and the trouble is, you see, the problem that they have is that the turnaround time at airports is minimal,
Right.
25 minutes,
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah.
And if there's stuff going on, well, they can't get the passengers on
true.
board quick enough. Imagine the knock-on effect that has.
true,
If they have a problem at the start of the day, they'll never catch up.
Yeah, so Owen's saying,
and that's often the case anyway with airlines, isn't it? So.
Owen's just saying it's just on-time performance optimization.
I love that word.
It is
optimization.
Yeah, indeed. Anyone would have thought that Owen had got some experience in working for a low-cost airline. Anyway, he says it definitely happens when people argue over putting the bags in the hold as gate-checked bags. It's a lot more time.
That's a good point,
Yeah, it is.
actually.
Yeah,
I hadn't considered that. Every time, I mean, I've not flown this particular airline for many years, but when I walk past the queue at Edinburgh Airport when I was travelling a lot from there, there's lots of argy-bargy about people trying to stuff their bag into the, whether it can go on the plane or not, the sizing device and all the rest of it. So there's lots of potential for delay just with that, let alone once you're on the aircraft and getting people to sit down and put their bag in the overhead locker or underneath the seat in front of them. So yeah.
I know you've not sort of been flying for a little while, Nev, not as busy as you were previous, but have you sampled or been through the system where you go to the airport and you have to put your bag on the scales yourself, print the ticket out yourself, put the ticket on your suitcase yourself and put your suitcase onto the belt and press a button for it to...
I think I did do that a couple of times with BA when I was flying. If there was a big queue for check-in or something, then you can just do a self bag drop and it's fine, actually. Yeah, it's not a big problem. That was at Terminal 5 at Heathrow. It's oh dear. Again, we're back to the same old story. It's delays causing other delays, and it's a perpetual thing, isn't it?
God, we didn't have anything like this when you used to stand and wait for some guy to look at your passport, stamp. There you go. Off you go. Have a nice holiday. How much easier was it then?
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Just saying. Nev, next story up for you, and good news for 320 pilots for a bit of an upgrade.
Yeah, it is. I think Andy mentioned this actually a couple of weeks ago. It's on aviationsourcenews.com, and it says Airbus to upgrade JetBlue's A320 fleet with advanced cockpit displays. The deal announced yesterday in Orlando at MRO Americas will see 46 aircraft receive Enhanced Electronic Instrument System EEIS-2 displays. The upgrade forms a key part of JetBlue's Jet Forward strategy, and it focuses on fleet modernisation, harmonisation and long-term operational performance. The new system replaces older cockpit displays with high-resolution LCD screens, giving pilots clearer information and better situational awareness. The EEIS-2 system improves the pilot visual interface and overall system capabilities. It also creates a strong technical foundation for future avionics enhancements. This was designed and supplied by Thales and integrated by Airbus. The displays align with the latest FAA roadmap. Pilots will benefit from sharper visualization of flight data, and the upgrade supports advanced functions such as satellite-based or ground-based landing systems and improved weather radar capabilities. These features deliver clearer, more timely information, especially in busy airspace. Dave Marcantel, who's the Vice President of Technical Ops at JetBlue, says that investing in upgrades like this is an important part of our Jet Forward strategy, supporting our focus on delivering reliable and caring service for our customers. Enhancement like these advanced cockpit displays help us modernise older aircraft, ensuring every aircraft remains safe, reliable and ready to perform. Robin Hayes, who's Chairman and CEO of Airbus North America, added further insight. He says modernising in-service aircraft is essential to maintaining the highest levels of efficiency and performance in an increasingly complex operating environment. Through upgrades like EEIS-2, Airbus is enabling operators to invest and integrate the latest technologies and prepare their fleets for the future. Well, this upgrade creates a more consistent cockpit environment across JetBlue's fleet, and it opens the door to additional performance improvements over time. This step-by-step modernisation keeps older Airbus A320s competitive without the need for full aircraft replacement. JetBlue operates one of the largest Airbus fleets in North America, including the A320 family and the A220 family. The airline continues to invest in technologies that boost operational efficiency and passenger experience, and by upgrading existing aircraft, JetBlue avoids disruption whilst gaining modern capabilities. Airbus says that the project highlights its commitment to North American customers, and as original equipment manufacturer, it offers expertise and a wide range of services to support in-service fleet evolution. And if any of you have seen the old Airbus displays with CRT cathode ray tube displays, they do look a little bit ancient, don't they? So the modern high-res LCD stuff is a massive upgrade, a massive improvement.
I wonder how many other airlines are going to take up these upgrades, Nev.
Well, it depends on the how long they want to hang on to the aircraft for, doesn't it? I suppose. But no, the new stuff is a real game changer, and the resolution and clarity that you can get from these new displays is tremendous. Yeah, it's a good. Also, from a filming point of view, just a technical moment here. When I was filming on some original Airbus aircraft, I had to do a lot of fiddling around with shutter speeds on cameras because of some very weird refresh rates that these CRT displays were putting out. That just goes away with the modern LCD stuff. So, yeah, great.
Because there's something weird like 15 frames a second or something silly. It wasn't even...
Well, it's the refresh rate. I mean, it's 59.94 hertz instead of 60 and all sorts of...
Is that flicker you get when you're...
Yeah, flicker.
It is. Yeah, you'll see a lot of videos on YouTube where they haven't synchronized the camera's speed to the the display speed, basically. Yeah.
Can you adjust that when you're filming? Can you adjust that with the settings on the camera to negate that, or is that?
Yeah, you can.
That,
Yep. Most cameras of decent quality, like the ones that I use, they've got shutter speed adjustment, so you can actually tune the refresh rate to exactly what you're seeing on the display.
And it is almost impossible to fix it in post. It's one of those things that has to be done at the time, because if you don't get it right at the time, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yes, that's one of those. It's one of the few things that you can't fix.
Yep.
I think, isn't it? Yeah. It's a real headache to try and do that.
Yeah, indeed.
Is that something you see when you're looking through your eyepiece, Nev, when you're videoing this? Do you see it through the eyepiece, or is it something you only see when you play back?
Depends a bit.
It depends on the resolution, also the refresh rate of the viewfinder itself. Sometimes you won't see it on the viewfinder, and you'll only see it on the output. Yeah. Which is why you've always got to turn up with what we call a confidence monitor to actually plug it into the output of the camera, so you can see what really is being recorded. What's
really happening? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, well, see, we're learning lots today, aren't we?
I know it is because it's something I see all the time, because I watch so many videos on YouTube of aviation stuff, and you always see, nearly all of them, when they're filming a flight deck view, that you always see that flickering of the monitors and all the instruments and displays.
I'm going to say this because I can say this without Nev, because obviously Nev being an industry expert, essentially what you're describing there, Carlos, is lazy videography.
but some of these are from blooming big
absolutely
channels that do this.
Mate, the BBC are the laziest out of all of them, I tell you. Honestly.
This is where
I should quantify the reason why for that is because quite often they're filming something for local news and they just don't have time. That's the reality, isn't it? When Nev's putting something together for a promotional video or something like that, then you've got the time, haven't you, to get these refresh rates. On the
and also the other thing is that if you think about, I've got to thank Captain Al for all this. I just didn't make it up on my own. Captain Al, before he became a pilot, was a prolific video editor in London's Soho in the post-production world. So he knows all about this sort of stuff. And of course, most aviation electronics are 110 volts and 400 hertz, which is very unusual.
Yeah. Indeed. And a fun fact, he is responsible for the very first video incarnation credit titles of Never Mind the Buzzcocks. There you are.
Oh, things that you didn't know.
Yeah, how about that? Fun facts. Yeah, absolutely.
See, you come here for aviation, and you just learn
loads of other totally irrelevant
You just
things.
go straight. You learn so much more. It's so good.
We're hitting ironing later on. So
we are absolutely. We are covering all bases, aren't we? We really are. And also AI. By the way, it's ready. By the way.
Oh my word! Anyway,
we can't do it.
Moving
now.
on.
We'll save it. We'll save it for when we're talking about the 600. There you go.
Okay.
The last story in the commercial news segment this week, and we haven't had a airport ding for a while, and Matt's got what can only be described as probably the worst resolution video in the world.
Speaking of video resolutions, absolutely.
This one is from news.az, and it's Myanmar Airlines aircraft collides with an Airbus after brake failure. A Myanmar National Airlines passenger aircraft was involved in a ground collision at Yangon Mengladon Airport after suffering a brake system failure while taxiing, authorities have said. The incident occurred on Monday this week when an ATR 72-600 reportedly lost braking control on the taxiway, causing it to accelerate uncontrollably. According to initial reports, the aircraft struck the tail section of a stationary Myanmar Airways International Airbus A319 parked on the apron area. After the first impact, the ATR 72-600 veered off its path, spun, and subsequently collided with a ground baggage car before coming to a stop within the airport premises. Oh, my word. There's some paperwork to fill out here. Both aircraft sustained damage along with some airport ground equipment. However, officials confirmed that no major destruction or severe injuries were reported. Airport authorities have launched an investigation to determine the exact cause of the brake failure and assess safety procedures following the incident. Operations at Yangon Mangalandon Airport were expected to continue as normal, and disruption while the aircraft or the damaged aircraft were assessed and removed. For those of you watching on YouTube, will see the said ATR-600 planted in some, I think they're baggage equipment. But I don't know if you've got the video there, Matt. For those of you watching on YouTube, you'll see the video of the aircraft there. I mean, Nev, you've got foot braking, you've got the parking brake to try and stop this happening.
Yeah, I don't really... It's very difficult to work out how that happened, isn't it? It's talk about, having to make an insurance claim. But, God, yeah, it's...
I mean, if anything,
it picked up a lot of speed, didn't it?
Needs to upgrade their camera. Honestly, that is terrible.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? No, the CCTV isn't great.
But I mean, even if the foot brakes would fail, surely you would have, you could pull the parking brake to lock the main gear up to
I don't know whether that's available, but nonetheless, that's quite a lot of damage, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Quite the event.
Quite the event, yeah. There'll be a few bits of paperwork to fill out and patching up to do on both aircraft with that, actually. So there we go. That is the last commercial news story for this week. Good stories there this week. Good discussion as well. Well done, guys. And Nev, handing over to you because we have missed last week. We missed the Retro Airline Ad of the week. That was my fault for not putting it through. But we've got a special extended Retro Airline Ad this week.
Yeah, we have. And this week, as Carlos says, it's an extra long one as we head back to 1987 and an airline that not only had 222 configuration, but also some classic airliners on the show.
Zen日空中国へ飛ぶ北京へ大連へ4月16日就航アメリカへご出発のお客様242のビジネスクラスで満足ですか全日空は2席少ない222横6席シートも通路も事実広いのですアメリカへはゆとりの全日空で国際線も全日空です全日空香港へ就航7月25日東京香港線開設国際線も全日空です
全日空赤道を越える10月26日東京シドニー線開設
You wonder what he's doing with this bit here.
国際線も 全日空です。
Marvellous. Everybody follow that?
Those people listening as an audio podcast will think that we've taken leave.
What on earth has just happened? Yeah, absolutely. The good news is Owen has offered to translate for us. So what we'll do is we'll run that again with subtitles, I think.
Yeah,
are you feeling all right, Carlos? Do you need a hug or something?
Well, no, but it's all about, we're trying to, we do have listeners in Japan, just to point that one out, who download the show.
We also have listeners in Germany and Rome and... Okay, good, lovely, excellent. To be fair, some beautiful aircraft. To be fair, I am jesting, of course, but there's some beautiful, very classic aircraft that we've just.
It's nice. I tell you what, Nev, it was nice to see the old 7.4 Classic there with the, that didn't have the winglets, unlike the 7.4-400.
Yes, that was either a dash 200 or 300, probably, wasn't it? Yeah. So no, very good and well dug out of the archives, Carlos.
Yeah, late 80s with that one. But ANA still very much going today, I think, aren't they, Nev? Yeah. Darren Smith in the chat room says the 747-200. And Owen says, honestly, ANA's ads haven't changed that much.
Fair enough. Okay.
There we go. Don't forget, if you are listening to this as an audio podcast, bear in mind you can go over to YouTube and watch those glorious adverts in amazing Technicolor on YouTube.
Don't say the word HD, because they weren't HD videos.
They weren't HD, no, my word, no. Anyway, right, let's move on with Nev's favourite part of the show, and we've got two nice stories. And the first story in this segment is some great pictures as well, Matt. I don't know if you've got them ready to fire up, but if you are ready, Mr. Smith, if you could hit the grey button, please.
Lost up bogeys 13550, Angel 16, heading 340. Okay, now there's a bogey.
First up comes from TWZ.com, or if you're in the US, TWZ. Spitfire completes a unique formation flights with the Royal Air Force. And there are some stunning pictures on this story. An example of the UK Royal Air Force's most iconic fighter, the Spitfire, flew in a series of air-to-air formations around the UK over the last few weeks as part of the 90th anniversary celebrations for the aircraft, which became legendary on account of its service in World War II. The 9-leg flight around the UK was completed last Friday, and the Spitfire in question, a 2-seater, was painted blue to represent the first prototype Kilo 5054. The original Kilo 5054 first flew on March the 5th, 1936, and was piloted by Captain Joseph Mutt Summers. It took off from Eastleigh Aerodrome, now Southampton Airport. The blue Spitfire seen in the accompanying images is actually a Mark 7, I think that is, Nev? Is that 7, Mark 7?
Oh, don't ask me.
Oh, no. I don't know what you're right.
No, it's a Mark 9. It's a Mark 9.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. You know your Roman numerals.
I do, yeah.
Bravo Sierra 410, which crashed in May 1943, was recovered, rebuilt in the 2000s, and converted to a 2-seater, allowing for passengers. It's currently privately owned. Starting on April the 7th, Kilo 5054, a lookalike Spitfire, joined up in the air with a host of modern types. For the first flight, the Royal Air Force's most advanced fighter, the F-35B Lightning, flew in formation with the Spitfire. This came just a matter of weeks after the British F-35B shot down the first enemy aircraft, hostile drones over Jordan during the conflict in the Middle East. The formation flight involved 2 frontline F-35Bs from RAF Marham and 2 preserved Spitfires. And for those of you watching there on YouTube, the pictures are incredible. They look so good. And I'll tell you what, Nev, it's a feat and a half as an F-35 pilot to be able to fly
that
slow enough
yeah,
to obviously have a spit. Mind you, to be fair, the Spitfires had quite a good top speed, I think, flat out. So.
Not a patch on a jet though. However you
Probably not as much as an F-35, no. But absolutely stunning pictures though, and it's still very much. If I was to win the blooming lottery or the premium bonds, I would be definitely paying my $3,500-4 grand to go and have a flight in a Spitfire. Absolutely. Yeah. Gemma, you listening? No, she's not listening.
No, thank goodness. Yes.
No, thank goodness. No. Nev, you have got the next one, and for fans of the Warthog, this is good.
Yes, it is. It's on flightglobal.com, and it says the A10 attack jet gets another year to live. Well, Troy Menck, who's a US Air Force secretary, says in consultation with the Secretary of War, we will extend the A10 Warthog platform to 2030. This preserves combat power as the defence industrial base works to increase combat aircraft production. While reposting Menck's remarks about the A10, US Secretary of War Pete Hegseth added, "Long live the Warthog." Previous plans had called for the A10, which the US Air Force had long sought to retire, to exit service in the US government's 2029 fiscal year, which ends on the 29th of September 2029. In addition to its formidable GAU-9 30mm cannon and ability to absorb enormous amounts of physical punishment, the A10 also has strong support in Congress. The jet's primary base is Davis Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. Congressional leaders from Arizona, a key swing state, have strongly supported keeping the A-10 in service. They argue that other types, such as the Lockheed Martin F-35, cannot yet fully replicate the capabilities of the A-10. Michigan and Georgia also host A-10 squadrons, and this is reflected by congressional support from these states. Well, the A-10 entered service in 1976 using its powerful cannon. Its initial role was to destroy Eastern Bloc armoured columns in the event of a war in Western Europe. It subsequently served in other operations, including the US wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Afghanistan conflict helped redefine the jet's role from Cold War tank killer to a close air support platform dedicated to the service of troops on the ground. A-10s have also been deployed in the US wars against Iran, and one example was lost to enemy fire, but the pilot was rescued, as we reported the other week. The type has also obtained the ability to receive fuel via the hose and drogue method using a new probe refueling adapter, which is mounted over the jet's boom refueling receptacle on the nose. Despite continued interest in the A-10, the US Air Force graduated what it said was its last class of A-10 pilots on the 3rd of April. So they're keeping it going. How about that?
It's an awesome aircraft. If you've seen these close up many years ago, little story here, backstory for many years ago, when my dad was still in the fire service, they used to do a family day, and part of the family day was to kind of meet up with the fire services at RAF Bentwaters here in the UK, which is now a closed Royal Air Force base. And I remember as a child going to one of the family days there and watching the air display there at RAF Bentwaters, and they had the A-10 tank buster, as they call it, during displays there, and it was it was absolutely incredible, especially to see up close as well. They are such an interesting aircraft to see in the air, for sure. And you wouldn't want what will be on the receiving end either of one of these, in Fury sort of thing. So yeah, but a good year they were. Was it 1976? You said it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
very good.
That was a very good year.
Yeah, it was a very good year. Yeah, an excellent vintage, if I might say.
Oh yes, excellent vintage. Yeah.
It was also a very hot year for those of us that were around.
Oh yeah, don't you worry about that. Mother reminds me of that constantly. Don't you worry about that.
I think 1976 is the hottest summer I can ever remember. walking back from school, it was absolutely sweltering.
Yeah. And bearing in mind, I was born in the November, so
you missed all of it.
Yeah. But again, I constantly reminded by mother that she was carrying me throughout all of that because it was still pretty hot even in September.
Well, it was. Yeah, no, it went all the way through from. Was it late May all through to September, and the roads were, literally the tarmac was melting on the roads. Yeah. Absolutely incredible.
Crazy, isn't it?
Well, you don't get that now because it's all full of potholes. Anyway.
Well, no.
True that.
Moving swiftly on. Nev, you've got an interesting little one you've chopped in here at the end of the military, but it's worth a read.
Well, I think it is. And, we do try very hard to keep the politics out of the show and all the rest of it. But I read an article that was sent to me today, and it's not specifically military aviation, but it is talking about our armed forces. But I think we can probably get away with this. So this was an item in today's Telegraph newspaper here in the UK. It's from Andy McNabb, who is the pen name for the former SAS soldier who's now a best-selling author. Some of you may have read his books. They are absolutely incredible. But if you haven't, do a quick Google search for Andy McNabb. Anyway, this is what he says. The growing exodus from the Special Air Service, SAS, driven by concerns amongst serving fighters that actions taken on operations could later see them dragged through investigations or prosecuted under human rights law, is a threat to our national security. United Kingdom Special Forces are a strategic asset, not a knitting circle with the privilege of navel gazing. They are people on the ground, risking their lives and making instant decisions as they protect our democracy. It may sound corny to some, but it is a fact. I know because I was once one of them and have had friends killed on operations. The SAS are about speed, surprise and violence of action. Some people may find this distasteful, but the SAS are professional soldiers who are needed, not to be thrown away. The government is slowly destroying the SAS, a strategic Tier 1 fighting force known worldwide for its effectiveness. The government uses our taxes to pay for a system that selects, trains and then sends our fighters into the battle space. Yet I find it incredulous that politicians can then decide years later in air-conditioned offices whilst drinking super-filtered mineral water what action could and should have been taken when their experience of the fight consists of having played a few games of Call of Duty. The government has betrayed me and my 18 years of service to our country. I can't imagine how current SAS operators feel as they decide to end their careers early, affecting not only their future, but also their families. Whilst there was an SAS fighter in Northern Ireland, there was a possibility that the government could have offered the SAS immunity from prosecution during operations. The SAS leadership apparently declined the offer because of concerns over shifting political climates and that fighters could develop a sense of invulnerability. At the time, I thought rejecting it was wrong, but I am now glad for the SAS leadership foresight in its protection of all of us, as well as focusing on keeping discipline in the battle space. The growing exodus from the SAS means a loss of experience and knowledge. The government's hounding will affect the remaining fighters' judgment calls, putting their lives and those of civilians in even more danger. Imagine this. You're the first SAS fighter to burst through a door into a shopping centre as a terrorist incident unfolds. You see a man wielding a machete as he runs towards a young mother and a child, frozen with fear. Instinct and training tell you that that deadly force must be used immediately to protect her. You have a good, unobstructed view of the attacker. You pull the butt of your weapon into your shoulder and you try to shake sweat from your forehead to keep it from running into your eyes. You push out what oxygen you have left in your lungs to prevent your breathing from affecting your aim. Your sight picture is good. The pad of your index finger is now inside the trigger guard and putting the first pressure on the trigger. The attacker is just 2 paces away from the victim, swinging his blade as she instinctively raises her arms to ward off the blow. But in the back of your mind, there's doubt. If you take the shot before that weapon has made potentially lethal contact, there is a possibility you will face criminal charges for disproportionate use of force. Will the chilling threat of a conviction hang over you for decades, whilst an inquiry panel decides what you could and should have done instead? Will your family life and professional future crumble to dust? So, do you open fire? Or do you wait one more second until the blade hacks into the young woman's arms? Surely any fighter with such uncertainty about taking immediate action has no place in our special forces. We need fighters who are confident in their actions, but relentlessly hounding by the government is making it impossible for the SAS to do its job. That's incredibly powerful words, isn't it, from Andy McNabb there. And I just wonder, in terms of the aviation world, the rules of engagement and all the rest of it. I know we're talking about a very different situation, but goodness me, it's chilling reading, isn't it? And the fact that I was sent this today by one of my old industry colleagues just shows you the problem. And you know, recruiting into the armed forces is a big problem right across the board. You know, there's never enough people coming into the armed forces, and if people are concerned about whether they'll be held responsible for situations, they might go, do you know what, that's not really for me. I don't really want to have to relive all that years later in front of a board, you know. So I don't know.
It's a difficult one.
I think it would be interesting for Armando to comment on that as well next time he's on the show as well.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. As you're saying, you've got to make a decision in that very moment, haven't you? And I guess the minute you pause to think, you know, what are going to be the ramifications of this?
I couldn't do it.
No, me neither.
No question about it. So,
no,
yeah.
indeed. Agreed.
Hopefully we'll have another one of Armando's awesome videos next week, all being well. But thanks for dropping that in there, Nev. Much appreciated. Now, Nev, we have got an update on the 600 show, an important one, actually, haven't we?
Yeah. Did you realise it's 1 month to go?
What?
It's the 22nd of May.
Oh, gosh, yes, I suppose it is. Yeah, 1 calendar month. Blimey.
Yeah. Which is slightly worrying.
It is a little bit.
Have we got everything ready? Has everybody paid? They have, actually. Yeah. So we're okay there. But lots to talk about. So I got the old HP printer out today and to see whether it will print card. And it does. So I've produced an agenda for the day. I think Matt's got a proper picture of this, about what we'll be doing and when we'll be doing it. So, I'm dead excited. So if you scroll down a bit, Matt, to the next one, we've got this is the timings of things, basically. So from 10 o'clock onwards, our visitors can enjoy free time around the museum. We'll be joined by our good friend Russell, who's the IWM Duxpert expert guide. So he'll be able to take us around the place as well, which will be great. So 2 hours worth. It's not enough, I know, but it's all we can squeeze in. But it will give you a flavour of what's possible. He's also organising for us to have a minibus to take us to the American hangar as well. Otherwise, it's quite a long walk. So that's rather good. And then 12:35, rather nice lunch where you can relax and refuel in the airlines, in the airside suite, which is where we're having the event. Then 2 o'clock in the afternoon, part one of the show's recording. 3:15, we've got the refreshment break. So for tea and coffee and comfort breaks. Then 15:35, 25 to 4 until 4:45. We've got the part two of the recording. Then I'm going to be doing some recording interviews with any of our guests that would like to take part from 5 o'clock onwards. You can check into the hotel, actually from about 3 o'clock, in fact, but if people want to do that from sort of 5:30, that's okay. And then at 7 o'clock, we've got dinner at the Red Lion Hotel, just up the road, which is just literally opposite the hotel, could not be more convenient. We have a confirmed list of 5 guest speakers. Hope we can fit them all in with the timing we've got. As I said, Russell Marriott is the IWM Duxford expert guide. Mike Smith is chairman of the British Airliner Collection at Duxford. fascinating. Derek Grinner-Smith, who's a good listener to the show. Thank you, Derek. He's going to give us a gallop through his 45 years of military and civil aviation stories. That's going to be fascinating. Another fascinating one is going to be from Alan White, describing his flying on the fixed-wing assets for the Irish Coast Guard. And last but no means least, Armando is going to talk us all about navigating the challenges of a YouTube challenge. And we all know what that's about with his Mr. Beast business that he did last year, wasn't it now? Yeah. So incredible. There may be some Concorde cockpit visiting going on as well, yet to be confirmed. But yeah, I think there's lots of possibilities going on there. So looking forward to it very much.
Indeed. That seems like a perfect opportunity to see what AI has managed to spit out, Nev. So in order for you guys to be able to hear it, I'm going to need you to mute yourselves briefly for a moment,
okay,
and then pop on your sound for original sound for musicians, so that you haven't got any echo cancelling going on, and then you stand a reasonable chance of being able to hear what I'm about to play. So let me know when you've done that, and we'll give it a go. Here we go. He's muted. Thumbs up, please, bearing in mind I can't hear you. Here we go, then.
Welcome in, settle down, plain talk. K600 now. Ducks for tonight. We gather round from every corner of the world. You've come, Armando Carrion, Russell Marriott, Mike Smith, Derek Smith, Alan White, here with us, live tonight.
And there we are. Short and sweet. Done the job. Turn your mics back on, please, guys. But, there we are. Short and sweet. I mean, it wasn't awful, was it?
Oh, dear.
There we go. Never mind. All part of the fun, eh?
So we're not going to use that as the main theme intro, then? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you know, I'll work on it, Nev. I'll work on it. But yeah, considering that was, you know, in a sort of like 20-minute window, not bad, I'd say.
No, I think so. And also, Darren Smith says, was that Ed Sheeran?
It was, yeah. I think it was, yeah. We signed him up specially.
Yeah, we signed. Yeah, cost us a fortune.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There we are. Never mind.
God,
bit harmless fun. Oh, here comes the abuse.
So
right. Good. Never mind. There we are. All part of the fun.
Now, in addition to the preparations for the 600th show, we have ordered, for those people that wanted T-shirts, not everybody wants a T-shirt, I have to say, some nice branding T-shirts. When they came from the manufacturers, they were a bit creased. So we did say to Carlos last week, would he mind seeing what he could do to improve the looks? Again, if you're viewing this as an audio podcast, this won't help you at all. But the lad has been extremely busy with his iron and his pinny and his ironing board, haven't you?
Yeah. 3.75 hours later, I managed to steam press all 43 T-shirts. There we go. As you're watching on YouTube,
it's a very neat pile, isn't it, Nev? I feel
all of the T-shirts in size order, I might say, in size order.
Okay.
Ready to go in the little bags that I've got as well, for them to go in with the lanyards as well. And there's a good picture there of my steam iron, which is a fantastic steam iron, I will say.
Oh, thank God.
Does a brilliant job. That was my Christmas present from Gemma this year. So there we go. But yeah, for those of you who are watching in the YouTube, you'll notice that the logo on the front of the T-shirt is the updated logo with the military V22 Osprey on there as well. So it's a nice little addition there. So if you are attending the 600th, you will be you've obviously already chosen your size, so you'll get
Jason says you'll make somebody a good wife one day, Carlos. Yeah.
Yeah, well, to be fair, let's cast our minds back a few years to when Matt Smith was driving coaches. That I did used to spend my Sundays pressing Matt's shirts as well.
In my defence, he was doing the ironing anyway. He wasn't doing them specially.
Anyway. Oh no, it was part of my Sunday routine.
Indeed. Yeah,
so
I gave that silliness up. That's fine.
If you're in the chat room and you are attending the 600th, as Nev was saying, we've got the T-shirt, and we've also got lanyard, haven't we, Nev? And you also get a copy of the running program as well for the day.
Yes, and John Falks just made a good point. Actually, on the back of the agenda, I'm going to print out the table plan as well, so you can see where you're sitting. Yes. Although that will be at the restaurant as well, but so you can see who you'll be sitting with.
Nice.
Richard Adams makes a good point. In the chat room.
Indeed, he says you could have been Nev's valet when he was still working. Absolutely, yes, indeed.
Oh my!
Right now, Carlos would quite happily take that job.
Yes, Matt is absolutely 100% true there. I would
even minimum wage if you want my valet.
I'll be all over it, Nev.
Yeah,
all over it.
That's how happy he is.
Absolutely, without question.
Indeed.
Anyway, right. Oh my word, honestly. People now know what I do on my weekends now.
Yeah. And there was everybody thinking it was all about aviation and beer. No.
People have this glamorous, think we live this glamorous lifestyle as podcast hosts, but
right.
Little do they know.
Yeah, quite.
Anyway, right. Moving on. We'll start to wrap up the show for this week. But let's have a quick round robin, as we say, to see what everyone's up to this week. We're going to start with you, Matt. Obviously, we're getting towards the weekend now. Close.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of a week of a little bit of a sad thing to do on Saturday, but other than that, presenter training. So yeah, that's keeping me busy at the moment. We've got lots of new people getting involved. So that's taking up a lot of my free time at the moment. So.
Have things changed in radio training since I was involved at our local hospital radio? Because one of the chief engineer at hospital radio, this is going back to the days of reel-to-reel recorders.
Yeah.
So we are going back in time a bit. But one of the snags with spooling tape was if you spooled with the fader up, you could very easily blow out the high frequency units of the monitor speakers in the control room because the high energy the sound basically, and his way of working was, if I catch anyone spooling with the fader up, I'm going to wrap their knuckles with my screwdriver.
Yes, absolutely.
Presumably because of HR issues, we can't.
No, not nowadays. No, absolutely not. No. I mean, the good news is it's all very digital now. Nev, there's less tape involved these days. More's the pity, I think, because actually cutting and splicing was very much a skill which has died out, isn't it? Really, all the sort of like Final Cut Pro and all that kind of thing has ruined all that, really, hasn't it? But there we are, and Pro Tools and stuff like that. There we are. But in the world of community radio, essentially, it's more about making sure they understand how everything works. Essentially, a lot of it's automated these days, so it's just making sure they know which fader should be up, basically. Yeah.
And Nev, what about you? Car cleaning?
Well, actually, I subcontracted that to Clean Getaway this morning, just because I couldn't be bothered, frankly speaking.
Fair,
which I never thought I'd ever say.
No.
Another visit to the chemist for more high quality products. Actually, I think I'm known by my first name down at the chemist now. I don't have to produce my QR code. I'm down there so often.
I'm beginning to wonder if you've got shares in Boots, Nev. Certainly.
Oh dear, honestly. But that's what happens when you get old. More medication. But hey, that's what it is. But no, nothing particularly special. Although I think the rest of this week, weather-wise, is going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to be very pleasing. The temperature department and the sun department, isn't it? So that'll be good.
Exciting times.
Yes, just looking at the chat room there. What am I going to be doing this weekend? Well, the usual thing on a Saturday. I've got the rest of this week off. Me and my lovely wife Gemma are off this week, which is awesome. We're having a nice break. I've got the parent-in-laws visiting us tomorrow from their home in North Norfolk. They're coming this way, which is nice.
That's exciting.
To see us tomorrow. And tomorrow morning, I should say, I'm having 2 rather expensive pieces of rubber put on the front of the Jeep. So we're having some new feet put on the Jeep tomorrow.
Some new wellies, yeah.
Some new wellies, yeah. But much needed, I will say. So it's been an expensive old week. I had the service yesterday and tyres tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, winter is just around the corner, so
that is true. Yeah. But other than that, we are venturing out this Saturday. I'm really looking forward to going out this Saturday evening. We're going to meet up at our local haunt. Not the Queen. That's literally on doorstep. We're going to the Dragon, Mr. Smith.
That's brave of you.
To go for a few beverages this Saturday afternoon, so that'll be quite nice.
May I recommend a pint of sauce if they have it on, by the way? It is absolutely out of this world.
Jubel, I've been enjoying there quite a bit, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, do you know what? Talking about beer, our local here, because I know some of our listeners, especially our listeners in the UK here, are fans of real ale. Our local pub here have got a very nice raspberry milk stout on pump at the moment, and it is very nice. And trust me, I slept very well last night.
I'm sure.
An afternoon at the pub.
Can I just say that this is on a school night as well?
I know. Wow. Outrageous.
And it's just nice not having to go to work. Both me and Gemma, do you know what, Nev? Me and Gemma said yesterday afternoon, she said, wouldn't it be nice if this was our life every day and we didn't have to go to work the next day?
One day.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the rest of the week for me. The weekend.
You've just described Nev, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, that's my world for the last 15 months or whatever it's been. Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. That is where we're going to start to bring the show to a close. Nev, social media links, just in case. I mean, everyone knows where we are.
There we go. Facebook, X, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Just search those platforms for Plain Talking UK. You can email the show, podcast@plaintalkinguk.com. The WhatsApp number of the show, +44 7446 975 214. And if you'd like to send any examples of your ironing, we'd be delighted to see it as well. And Carlos will give them marks out of 10 on next week's show. Don't forget you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, of course. You'll get notifications when we go live. Just please press the like and subscribe buttons. And you can shape the conversation of the show by joining us in the chat room, as so many good folk have done tonight. Just go to youtube.com and search for Plain Talking UK. As you will have gathered, we do have some expenses on the show, which we have to pay for ourselves. If you can help us mitigate some of those, there is a section on our website called Support the Show, where you can go to donate small amounts of funds to Patreon and PayPal if you are able. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you to everyone. So that's it for tonight's episode. 597, ever closer to the 600th. Big thanks to everyone who's tuned in tonight for the YouTube show. Thank you very much for joining us in the chat room, all the YouTube family. And also a big thanks as well to everyone who downloads the show as an audio podcast each week. Thank you very much to you as well, all across the globe indeed, because it's great to know so many different countries download the show each week. It definitely is an eye-opener of some of the countries that listen to us each week. So thank you, one and all. We'll be back next Wednesday here on YouTube, 7 o'clock for the next show. So make sure you set your reminders for that. So from me, Carlos, here in the home studio, from Matt in the Master Suite studio, from Nev in his studio at home in Buckinghamshire. Have a great rest of the week. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Say goodbye, Nev.
Yes, we will. Take care and see you next week. Bye for now.
There we are, done. Well done.
All done.
Well done.
Well done, everyone.
Yes, the retirement thing. Just seeing some comments in the chat room from Jenny and from John Falk. Yes, you are getting older. That's the thing, isn't it? But we're all getting older. But sometimes when you're, let's say, over 60, it seems to go quicker than when you were younger. I don't know. It's just me. But, oh, dear. But there we are. So, no, please keep working, everybody, those that can, because they, you need to fund me in my retirement.
Right.
Don't stop yet.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
Okay. There we go. Oh, dearie me. I can't believe it's only a month to the 600.
Yeah.
That's really scary.
I know. So it's gone quick. It's funny, isn't it? We seem to be organising this such a long way out, which I suppose we did.
Which you have to.
But hard to believe that it's now a month to go.
A month away.
Absolutely incredible.
I know.
Yeah.
Do we do this every week, and we have all our chat room family, as we say, and every week watching us. But it's amazing to think that in a month's time that nearly all of the chat room will be with us. Yeah. In the same room. That's not over, cool. YouTube or the internet.
Forgot to mention, also on the 600 show, we have a quiz, and I've given Andy the task of setting the commercial questions for the quiz, and Armando the military questions for the quiz. And there will be prizes as well.
Oh, yeah, there's prizes.
Yeah. Ooh. So, but unfortunately, it's only for the people that are attending the show. Yes. I think if we opened it up to anyone that was listening at the time, that could be a big problem. So unfortunately, we're going to have to limit it to just the people that are attending the event. Yeah. So I hope you understand that. But
good question in the chat room, Mr. Nev and Mr. Smith from John Falk. At what point do you get nervous producing the 600 show technically?
Oh, about 5 minutes to go, usually.
Yeah.
When someone's switched on a toaster somewhere, it's just tripped the mains. That sort of thing.
I've been... I was sort of doing all right about it, and then we had a technical production meeting last week before the programme started, and that was the point at which my nerves kicked in for the first time, especially as Nev quite rightly gave us a bit of a pep talk about making sure it went smoothly. So from that moment on, one has been soiling oneself ever since. So
I think the nice thing is, of course, because we're not doing this as a flyaway show, so we can literally load the cars up with everything we need and as much contingency as we want. Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, it's not a very complicated show that we're doing this time. No. We have done shows that have been far more complex than this in the past. I seem to remember the Farnborough show as well, the one we did in 2016, which is the first one. Oh, we've done a few of these now, so we've got the hang of it, and things have improved, reliability has improved. So but you never quite know what's going to go wrong. I say checking out the venue. I've done that twice now. Making sure we've got a good internet connection and stuff like that.
And making sure it's a connection that has open access to YouTube ports, which was the problem we had when we were at Brooklands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Little things like that you learn along the way.
I mean, let's not forget that we managed to do a live stream from the flight deck of a Vulcan bomber for the 100th show.
That was our very first outside broadcast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember right.
We managed to squeeze into said flight deck.
There was actually a huge amount of space up there, to be fair.
And we put cameras in there.
We did, yeah. I still don't remember a lot about it, I've got to be honest. It was all a bit...
I remember it being a very cold, windy day.
It was, yes. Yeah. It was.
Yeah.
Anyway, won't have any of that, obviously, in our nicely air-conditioned suite.
Oh, no. We've upgraded.
Yes, we've
upgraded seriously.
So even if it is a hot day, it'll be a very ambient 21 degrees Celsius. Exactly.
And the nice thing is about these sort of things, the event staff, they're absolutely marvellous. So they've been so helpful with us so far. We've had to have communications with the comms team themselves. And yeah, it's been great actually. So that's half the battle. If you're working with people that are helpful, that helps us. That's why I've been there a couple of times, just to show my face, and rather than just sort of turn up on the day before. It really does help if you're in communication with them. So yeah, I think it's going to be fine. So yeah, there's always a bit of nerves, of course.
Absolutely,
but it'll be fine. It'll be okay.
John Felks put in the chat room, I will have to view it. Did not know about the 100th in the Vulcan yet. Trust me, John, we definitely broadcast a live show from the Vulcan bomber at Norwich Aviation Museum. Yeah. You'll have to go back in the back folder and look it up.
I think I'm pretty certain it's still on the old tube, so yeah.
Richard Adams has put in the chat room, Farnborough, was that the one with the satellite dish slung out the back of the window?
Correct, yes, that was at the Hogsback Brewery, wasn't it? And it was off the... I think we did two, didn't we? One with...
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, because we did one, and also it was... Well, you and I were doing some... Oh, no, that was in Pittsburgh, wasn't it, where we were doing something for APG?
Oh, that's right, yes.
Yeah. And then we did a... Yeah, and then it was a sort of like an amalgamated one that we did at the Hogsback Brewery, wasn't it? At Farnborough, that very first time, 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jason Trussell makes a good point in the chat room. He says, if the show is boring, we'll just head out to Concord.
Fair enough. Okay.
Harsh but fair.
Blimey.
I mean, sure. Okay.
We'll give you a shout at... 5 o'clock, Jason, when it's time for your dinner. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Cool. That's hitting the feels rather nicely, isn't it? Lovely. Just keeping us all on our toes.
I shall unpress that T-shirt.
Yeah, I should crinkle it up nicely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Make sure it's nicely scrunched, won't you? Marvellous.
Right, we're going to say goodbye to our lovely chat room family. Thank you again for tuning in tonight, everyone. Very much indeed. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. And we'll be back next Wednesday. And have a great, safe rest of the week and weekend. Jason says, only joking. And take care, everyone. And, we love you all. And stay safe. Say goodbye, Nev, and we'll switch the feed off.
Yes, cheers, folks. We'll see you next week. Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time. In the meantime, have a nice rest of the week and the weekend, and bye for now.